Hi everyone! I bet many of you at one point dreamt about getting to outer space, witness meteors and asteroids passing by, and find out what happens to a human inside a black hole. But in essence, most of our knowledge about the universe is made up of random bits from Hollywood movies and science fiction books, which are often quite far from reality. We would try to dispel a few of these myths for you. So, these are 6 of the most common myths about space. Let's get it on. Myth number 5. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, and thus the hottest one in the solar system. This is obviously a myth. The distance from the Sun doesn't affect the average temperature on a planet. Mercury is indeed the closest planet to the Sun, but it doesn't mean it's the hottest one. During the day, the temperature of the surface of Mercury can reach 420 degrees centigrade, or 800 degrees Fahrenheit. But, due to rotation differences, a day on Mercury lasts, wait for it, about 58 Earth days. Since its atmosphere is very rarefied, it doesn't hold heat too well, and the temperature on the unlit side of the planet plummets to -173 centigrade, or -279 degrees Fahrenheit. Our North Pole, compared with this, is a beach resort. The hottest planet of the solar system is actually Venus. Its dense atmosphere, which consists of carbon dioxide and nitrogen, keeps a lot of heat. The average temperature on Venus doesn't go much below 462 degrees centigrade, or 863 degrees Fahrenheit. Myth number 4. The moon has a dark side. To all Jedi who switch to the dark side. Let's continue. When we talk about the dark side of the moon, we normally mean the side that's unlit by the sun, but it would be way more precise to talk about that side that isn't seen by humans. The moon and the Earth move simultaneously. It means that we can only see one side of our satellite from the surface of our planet. The other so-called dark side of the moon can't be seen without leaving the Earth's orbit. But since the moon as well as the Earth spins around its axis, the rays of the sun reach all its parts, so there isn't actually any really dark side of the moon. Myth number 3. The Earth is round. This would seem an unarguable fact. We all know from school that the Earth isn't flat or square. Copernicus first said this, and Magellan proved it with his first round-the-world trip. But is it that round in reality? Speaking about Earth, we use the word globe, or a poetic expression, terrestrial ball, even though it would be much more precise to call it a less common word, geoid, i.e. something similar to Earth. All because our planet is slightly widened at the equator and flattened at the poles, and its surface is constantly changing due to the continuous motion of tectonic plates and erosion. So, I have to disappoint you, the shape of the Earth is pretty different from the shape of a football or a billiard ball, as you might have imagined. It's more like an irregular potato or a very strange pear, depending on your fantasy. Myth number 2. A human in outer space without a spacesuit will explode. From a number of Hollywood movies, we know that if you take off your spacesuit helmet, your head will immediately swell and blow up. Well, being in outer space without a spacesuit is really stupid, since it's slightly, or rather very deadly. But death is not going to be as immediate and as horrible as we're often shown. In fact, half a minute in outer space might not kill a healthy person, but the exceedingly low outside pressure is extremely dangerous for the lungs, the heart and the brain. Small blood vessels would expand until breaking, leading to massive internal hemorrhaging, but all the bones, skin and internal organs would stay in place. Overall, dying in outer space is not the most pleasant way to die in the world. You will feel horrible pain until you faint of lack of oxygen and soon die of suffocation. Myth number 1. The sun is yellow. Even though we see the sun as a yellow, orange or red circle depending on the time of the day and its position in the sky, the sun is actually white. The colour of any light depends on the temperature. Stars with surface temperature of 4,500 degrees C or 8,100 degrees Fahrenheit, like our sun, emit white light. So, why does every child on the Earth take a yellow and not a white pencil to draw the sun, without thinking twice? The thing is, that longer light waves from the yellow-red part of the spectrum pass the atmosphere of the Earth almost without loss, and the shorter green to violet waves diffract a lot. So, if you ever get the chance to look at the sun from outer space, you'll see with your own eyes that the sun is white. And the question, why is the sky blue during the day and black at night, will automatically disappear.